If you thought fire burning for decades was wild, just wait until you discover places where your breath freezes midair, cars run all night to avoid turning into ice blocks, and people still go to work in minus 60 degrees Celsius blizzards. These aren't uninhabited wastelands, these are towns, with schools, jobs, and real families. Welcome to the coldest corners of our planet, where humans not only survive, but thrive. Across the Earth, there are places so brutally cold most of us couldn't last a single hour. Yet, entire communities live, work, and even raise children in temperatures that would freeze boiling water in seconds. From the frost-bitten streets of Siberia to icy Canadian frontiers, this is a journey through the 10 coldest places on Earth, where life refuses to freeze. Imagine stepping outside, and your eyelashes freeze in seconds. Your phone dies instantly. Your breath doesn't just fog, it crystallizes. Welcome to the coldest village on Earth, Oymyakon. Oymyakon lies deep in the Siberian wilderness, in Russia's Sakha Republic. With winter temperatures that plunge below minus 60 degrees Celsius, it holds the record as the coldest inhabited place on Earth. But don't be fooled, this isn't a ghost town. Roughly 500 resilient souls call this icy realm home. The name Oymyakon ironically means non-freezing water, named after a nearby hot spring. But make no mistake, life here is a battle against frostbite and isolation. Locals fuel their lives with fatty meats like reindeer, horse, and fish, raw or frozen. There are no crops here, no plumbing. Water must be hauled in blocks of ice and melted indoors. Cars run non-stop during winter. If the engine stops, it may never start again. And funerals digging a grave can take days. Fire must first thaw the permafrost before shovels can cut through. Yet school remains open, unless it hits minus 52 degrees Celsius. Children play outside, wrapped head to toe. It's a frozen world, but it's home. When you ask the villagers how they survive, they don't boast. They smile and say, "We were born here, it's just winter." What if I told you there's a city of over 170,000 people, trapped in snow for 270 days a year, sealed off from the world, and built on frozen ground that's literally cracking beneath their feet? This isn't science fiction, this is Norilsk. Located 180 miles north of the Arctic Circle, Norilsk is the northernmost major city on Earth. It's a city of contradictions. Frozen yet alive, isolated yet industrial. Temperatures can plummet to minus 55 degrees Celsius here. Blizzards often reduce visibility to less than 10 feet, and still, Norilsk runs like clockwork. Built by prisoners during the darkest days of the Soviet Gulag system, Norilsk rose atop bitter history and colder ground. Its foundations lie in permafrost, a frozen earth layer that shifts and cracks with every temperature drop. Locals must wear full-face masks just to breathe comfortably during storms. But what really keeps Norilsk alive is metal. Norilsk sits atop one of the richest deposits of nickel, copper, and palladium in the world. This harsh land powers a global supply chain. The city exists not in spite of the cold, but because of it. The irony? Residents can't even leave. Foreigners are banned. And for Russians, travel is restricted unless approved. Norilsk is a fortress of frost. Yet to those who grew up here, this icy metropolis is home. Life isn't easy, but it's deeply human. What happens when the sun disappears for 65 days, and you still have to shovel snow, walk your kids to school, and go to work? Welcome to Utqiagvik, Alaska, where darkness reigns and life endures. Formerly known as Barrow, Utqiagvik is the northernmost city in the United States, perched on the edge of the Arctic Ocean. Temperatures drop to minus 45 degrees Celsius. But what really tests the spirit here is the polar night. For over 2 months each winter, the sun vanishes entirely. Residents live in an eerie twilight, lit only by porch lights, headlights, and the distant shimmer of the aurora borealis. Home to the Inupiat people, this town of 4,500 has thrived here for centuries, long before roads, satellites, or weather forecasts. Locals hunt whale, seal, and caribou for food. Traditions are passed down not in textbooks, but in the way you dress for the storm and how you navigate by wind and ice. Education, culture, and resilience shape this community. Even in the coldest months, schools stay open. Snowmobiles replace school buses, and faith in each other replaces sunlight. When you ask residents how they handle the darkness, they say, "We don't wait for the sun, we bring our own light." What if winter wasn't a season, but a way of life? What if the skies above you shimmered with color while the ground beneath you cracked from cold? Welcome to Yellowknife, the icy heart of Canada's Northwest Territories. Perched on the northern edge of Great Slave Lake, Yellowknife is one of the coldest cities in Canada, and the coldest capital city in North America. Winter lasts up to 8 months, temperatures drop below -40 degrees Celsius, yet somehow, the city hums with life. Built atop rich deposits of gold and diamonds, Yellowknife was born out of frozen ambition. But it's not just wealth that drives this place, it's wonder. Yellowknife is known as one of the best places on Earth to witness the northern lights. For locals, it's not a rare event, it's a nightly ritual. People don't just survive here. They snowmobile to work, host dog sled races, and build ice castles on the frozen lake every winter. Every March, residents carve an entire kingdom out of ice. Inside this frozen palace, music, laughter, and warmth that defies the chill. When the wind bites and the mercury drops, Yellowknifers say, "There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing." They say your voice can freeze mid-air here, and fall to the ground like shattered glass. This is Snag, Yukon, a place so cold, it holds a record that has never been broken. On February 3, 1947, the tiny village of Snag made history. Thermometers recorded -63 degrees Celsius, or -81.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than the surface of Mars. It happened suddenly. The sky was perfectly clear, no wind, no clouds, just a bone-cracking silence. And then, the air froze. This place once served as a vital military weather station during World War II. Today it's nearly a ghost town. The outpost is gone, the residents left, but the legend remains. Locals tell stories of how their breath would freeze and hang in the air like smoke. Footsteps echoed louder than usual, because even sound moved differently in the cold. Snag's population has dwindled to nearly none. Yet every year scientists and survivalists revisit it, to understand the physics of such deep cold, and how humans ever endured it. No one lives here anymore, but the cold never left. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, the coldest national capital on Earth. Imagine a capital city where winter lasts 7 months, and temperatures plunge below -40 degrees Celsius, where skyscrapers and yurts stand side by side. This is Ulaanbaatar, the coldest capital on the planet. Ulaanbaatar sits at 1,300 meters above sea level, cradled by the Khenti Mountains. Winters are relentless, smog hangs low, and yet over 1.6 million people, nearly half the country, call it home. In the city's outskirts, thousands still live traditionally, in circular tents called gurs, burning coal and wood just to survive the -30 degrees Celsius nights. Urbanization came fast here, but Mongolia's nomadic spirit hasn't vanished. It's adapted. Children study by LED light while livestock wander snow-covered fields just meters from apartment blocks. Pollution from GER districts has created a new enemy, toxic winter air. And still, the people endure, resilient, rooted in history. What do you do when your city freezes for 5 straight months? You turn it into a kingdom of ice. Welcome to Harbin, the unofficial ice capital of the world. Located in northeastern China, temperatures here drop to -38 degrees Celsius every winter. Instead of dreading the freeze, Harbin embraces it. The Harbin International Ice and Snow Sculpture Festival transforms the city into a living winter fairy tale. Every year, artists from around the world gather here. Not in spite of the cold, but because of it. Outside the glitz, real life carries on. Children walk to school in layers, shopkeepers shovel snow in front of dumpling stands, and neighbors bond over steaming bowls of hot pot. In Harbin, the cold isn't an obstacle, it's a canvas. The people here don't just survive the cold, they celebrate it. Welcome to International Falls, nicknamed the Icebox of the Nation. Located on the US-Canada border, This town regularly sees minus 40 degrees Celsius winters. In fact, it once had the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in the continental US. Locals here host a festival every January, complete with frozen turkey bowling, snowshoe races, and the infamous smoosh races, where teams strap their boots to a single pair of long skis. In International Falls, cold is culture. Kids learn to skate before they can walk, generators hum in backyards, and conversations start with, "How cold did it get last night?" This town proves that even in freezing darkness, warmth is a state of mind. Now, we leave civilization behind. This is not a town, not a village. This is the coldest place humans have ever lived, even temporarily. Welcome to Vostok Station, a Russian research outpost on the East Antarctic Plateau. No permanent residents, just rotating crews of scientists enduring the most extreme environment on Earth. On July 21, 1983, Vostok recorded minus 89.2 degrees Celsius, the coldest natural temperature ever observed on this planet. Oxygen levels here are dangerously low, vehicles freeze solid, exposed skin can develop frostbite in seconds, and yet, human knowledge pushes forward. Beneath this ice lies Lake Vostok, an ancient untouched body of water sealed off for over 15 million years. What lies in its depths? No one fully knows. Vostok isn't just the coldest place where humans have lived, it's a reminder. Curiosity can thrive even in the harshest voids. From the coldest towns to the final frontiers, next we'll journey to the most remote places on Earth, where survival isn't just difficult, it's almost impossible. From the icy streets of Harbin to the ghost outpost of Vostok, humanity has found a way to live where nature says we shouldn't. These frozen frontiers challenge everything we know about survival, and yet fire still burns inside those who call them home. So next time you complain about the cold, remember, somewhere out there, someone's walking to school at minus 50 degrees Celsius. And this is only the beginning, because next, we travel even further, to the most remote places on Earth, where no roads lead and almost no one dares to stay. Subscribe to Explore with Journey Junction, and let's chase the edge of the world together.